4 movements by Paul Ruhland and Richard Wilson. You're listening to the Museum Chamber Music Concert, a live broadcast from the John Delcourt Auditorium of the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles County. Another in a series brought to you at the same time through the facilities of KNAC FM in Los Angeles, broadcasting from Prudential Square. And now, did you know that sound has added another dimension to the Natural History Museum's 2 great main floor habitat halls? A lion's roar, wolves howl, bison snort and stamp, and the inside story of each major exhibit is told by performers Nancy Kovacs-Meta and Michael Landon, with Ed Moreno narrating for Spanish-speaking visitors. It is a new experience. Now, the museum is located at 900 Exposition Boulevard. Admission is free, and free parking is usually available on lots adjacent to the museum. It is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday, with the exception of Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, do here and see both halls soon. And now returning to our concert this afternoon by composers Ruhland and Wilson. The program closes with their themes and variations on the Funky Road, performed by the National Endowment under the direction of Roger Kelly.
So that just gives you a taste of one aspect. Let me see if I can find you something that is a little bit more orchestral. That just gives you a feeling for what's going on. And much of it is much more orchestral in terms of there's not always time, and there's some amazing soloing, but I don't want to spend the whole time. But that just gives you a taste.
It's difficult to hear all the details of the recording, but I could hear bass, I could hear that electric piano solo that was just playing, and Richard's like his rimshot accents, man, they just cut right through. It sounds amazing. I wonder what drum kit he was using on that recording.
I have that kit.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's the Rogers Holiday series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That snare drum sounds amazing.
I'm not sure what snare drum. He may have been using his wired drum. It was a cable drum.
Okay.
And yeah, so I don't know if you've ever played on a cable snare drum, but it is.
What is a cable snare drum? Describe that to me.
Yeah, they use like they used to use airplane cabling, and they run it under the snare, under the
Oh wow.
drum instead of snares.
Oh,
And it was really precise. That's what you're hearing. There's no forgiveness. Play stuff on a cable snare drum is incredibly challenging. Right.
because it sounds amazing. Like that, basically, what the other song you played where they were doing more of that sort of that late '60s, early '70s kind of funky groove.
Right.
But then this one was more of a swinging 3/4, like the later thing that you played. So I could hear these rimshot accents. He'd be throwing in these accents, and it was loud. It was powerful. So it was, I guess he was playing traditional grip as well.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I asked him, but he may have been. Yeah, he may have been. He played both. But so yeah,
Cool.
that just gives you some semblance as to, you know, the lineage of what's going on here.
Yeah.
And so Dick Wilson approached drumming from, you know, a composer's point of view.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get into not what to play so much as how to play, right? And so we're looking at the we looked at the faint and flam and the flam and faint.
Excuse me.
That's you. Let's take a look at the flam and stroke. And by the way, do you have the Mitch Peters intermediate book?
No, I have the first volume, and I ordered the second. I ordered the intermediate book, but I'm waiting on it. Still waiting for it to arrive.
Yeah, I'm glad you did that.
I
Good.
ordered like the moment you. Well, it was I guess 2 lessons ago you had brought that up, and then I ordered it then, so I'm still waiting for it.
Keeping it right. Well, why don't you just show me, get me a little more of your pad? I have still a bit too much of over your head,
Mm-hmm.
and not quite enough of the pad. So you can just make that slight adjustment. Yeah. Yeah. If anything, you'd want to back up so I can see more of your drum. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
That's cool.
Is that better?
Yeah. So, yeah, what you want to do is you want to see, you want as tight a frame as possible, meaning I can see you as closely as possible. So if you can get closer to the camera and not waste any space overhead or below, that's the way to go. Okay. It's pretty good. And I just back up the pad just a little, tiny bit. There you go. See that? Your neck now.
Tighter, yeah.
Right? Now Toronto doesn't seem so far away. Pardon me. So, let's start by taking a look. Since we've looked at the close flam, we've looked at the faint and flam, we've looked at the flam and faint, and now let's take a look at the flam and stroke, and we can just assess what's going on. You know?
So, I mean,
Essentially, they're the same motions, just reconfigured, right?
so because we've got a right hand flam followed by a left hand accent. Now, in a conventional sense, we normally accent the flam. So the question I ask, are we playing 2 accents in that?
Well,
Oh, I see. It's more of a grace note type flam then. Okay.
it's just a small flam.
Okay.
See, but what we're trying to get to is the recognition of how it is that we're playing this stroke. Now, that intuitively, right, a flam may have a throw or it may not. In this case, this is more about the left being the left appoggiatura being the upstroke to what is the left accent.
Yeah.
And then conversely, we get the right playing what is an upstroke to its right accent. Okay, so with no tempo, feel your way through that and see how that would work. Right, so you're going to play a little right.
That's the first half. So. No.
So it starts with the right flam. Okay,
Yes.
there you go, and left upstroke. Okay, and then you throw. And the other way. Oh, it's not a flam. Accent isn't a flam. It's just upstroke. Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm used to throwing on the flam.
Okay. See, that's why these books are so cool.
Yeah.
Because all this stuff can be turned into music, right? They're the bits and pieces, or they're the bits and pieces of the 7 basic strokes, which we use. Okay. Now, we need to go back to the basic essentials in terms of what are these motions that we're using. We have 7 basic strokes, and all of them have to be exactly as prescribed. They have a precise meaning in terms of the way that they're played. Okay, so that means that an upstroke is going to be a certain motion, and a downstroke to an accent is going to be a specific motion. And then you also have as another, those are 2 of the 7 basic strokes. The third would be what Murray called the single stroke, right? We also have another one of the 7 basic strokes in that our grace notes are part of that list of strokes. We have the flam, which has the appoggiatura. We have an upstroke to a downstroke, the single stroke, but that's about it. But they'll have to be played properly. Okay, and we also have the wrist turn, don't we? If we're going to play a right flam without actually throwing, what would that look like? So see, this has to be correct. The upstroke to the throw has to be correct, right? And that's about it. But they have to be correct. Now, when you're doing this, Joe, let's see how to. With this technique, I'll just give you basic, what are the primary tenets of this technique. One of them is we do our weighting down here at parallel, at the floor, okay? This position is a really big deal in this technique, okay? And we do our weighting here. We don't do our weighting here. Now, for remedial purposes, maybe it would help a student to break down a throw. And you can weight anywhere, but to actually make a throw requires a certain fluidity. Up to a throw has this quality. See, I don't weight at the top, so I go I don't wait here, I wait here at the floor. So, today your right grip looks a little better than your left, which is a really good sign. But, okay, so remember we're holding the sticks like this. I'll give you another thing that Richard Martinez reminded me of recently, which is, or actually he was talking about how the stick follows a certain track. And it reminded me of what Dick Wilson used to say. And to me, it seemed like a small detail that might not really be that important. And it can be perhaps difficult to find in the beginning, but there's so I believe there's a tendon that runs from the index finger knuckle. That would be 1, 2, the third knuckle, I guess you'd say, right? Can you see that little tendon that runs? Mm-hmm. If you're holding the stick properly, it should run it out to the elbow joint in the wrist, or not the elbow joint, the outward side of the hand at the wrist. See it right here?
Yeah, so you're talking about this.
Yeah. You can see, I don't know if I turn it around, it's going to change it, or if you could even see that this tendon, probably hard to see. How would you know, I need a camera overhead or something. But there is this line.
Yeah, that line, yeah.
Can you see that tendon?
Yeah, yeah. And if I was to draw a line from that, I would end up right here.
You could. Well, the stick should follow that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right. Oh, that's right.
That's a particular track that we want to maintain.
I see that, yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's good. See, and you see that the stick, therefore, is not entirely lined up with the forearm. right? But just slightly off being completely a straight line that follows the forearm, because then you would have this. Right? So it's not like this, where you're playing, you know, there are techniques to play this way. And to get that, I think you'd have to put the butt end into the crack of the middle of the hand.
Yeah.
And that's not what this technique is, because then you really have to hold the stick right at the back. Or if you go to make a motion, or maybe with this technique you wouldn't make a motion. But the gig is that that stick really follows that cartilage or tendon, whatever it is, out to the wrist area. You'll find that the stick is resting in this soft area of this pad part of the inner hand. Right? There's this little spot right here. Dick would have you actually, you can actually squeeze and find that little line there, a dimple right in there. There's that dimple in there.
Yeah.
In other words, you don't want it in the middle of the hand, and you don't want it on the bone, because you can hurt yourself. There's a bone here. It's right in between in this padded area. Okay, so that's another kind of a deeper or just another fine point with regards to this particular grip. Yeah, looks pretty good. Okay. Now the arms have to be really relaxed. We don't want any tension in the antecubical fossa. The antecubical fossa hangs really. It's feeling nothing. It's just hanging there. It doesn't feel much of anything, which is the goal. The shoulder, it doesn't feel much of anything. Okay, and so, right? Isn't a fulcrum supposed to be inert? Right? Okay, so it's a point of inactivity, perhaps. Okay, so these are all fulcrums. You want to leave them alone.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're trying to get this beautiful fluid motion that isn't this, that isn't, I'm going up. Now, and this is another fine point with regards to this technique. Dick would say, it's just this little thing. I believe this is what he was talking about. So all we're going to do is we have this position, right? And we're holding up the stick. Here's another cool thing, right? This is another Richard Martinezism, where really the body wants to do this. And everything's hanging. And now we're going to bring the forearms up, right? And now we are actually holding something up. So there's some work involved. Some force is being applied. Right? You can feel it in the shoulders. All kinds of countervailing forces that go on as the body moves. Okay? The other thing is there's a countervalence with regards to the hand, where the hand would just want to do this. So you're also holding the hand up. Okay? Now we're holding the hand up. I feel these muscles pulling. Okay, so we're holding this thing up, right? So there's some amount of necessary countervalence required so that we can maintain this position. Go ahead and put the sticks in your hand. Okay. Now in the right, for instance, we're holding this stick. In fact, go ahead and put the left down so that there's no part of your body that is having to manage holding a stick in your left hand. Okay. So see, you feel you have the weight of the stick that you're holding up, you have the weight of your hand, and you have the forearm that you're holding up. That's it. It's something though. Well, what would happen if we just let that go? I just get this. Okay. You see it? I'm trying to feel as little as possible. I'm just turning. And when I turn, my bead stops dead. Now let's see. See, here's just a regular tiny wrist turn. And now I'm gonna take advantage of that. And I've already started to go up. This tiny little thing. There you go. There. There. Now, follow that up and leave the bead down. Follow it up a little more. See, now you can go up. But you see, if I hold my elbow to my side, as I think you are, it feels very uncomfortable. It creates tension here. For this wrist joint to not feel tension, there is, again, some counteraction that's involved. So you're going to get this little tap. Trying to feel as little as possible. Now we're going up. We're not just tapping. See, we're not just tapping. Now we're actually going to go up. No, it just drops. It just drops. Just tiny little thing. There. That's it. Now, if you really did follow that up and leave your arm hanging, and this fulcrum in the shoulder loose, and the fulcrum in the wrist, I'm calling the elbow the wrist and the wrist the elbow. No. And the anticubical fossa, meaning the elbow, if this joint, this fulcrum is left alone, it does this. Go on up higher. See, I cannot get your elbow to come out. Look how far my elbow's out. Look at it. By now, it's come out a little bit. There. It's that path. Okay, yeah, but let all this hang. It's just, if I feel it's good, and you're maintaining your grip. It's good. Okay, but it's not this, because remember, we have to hold everything up. And then you're just going to allow that stick to fall with all this hanging loose. As you can either turn or just use gravity. Smaller than that. All you're moving is ½ an inch. Tiny. That's it. That's it. But remember, now, doesn't the elbow move a little bit? See, it's already moved. See. Yeah, see, if I'm just turning my wrist, I don't feel my elbow want to move. But if I go to make an up, it's already motivating this upward motion of the form, which affects the upper arm if it's hanging loosely. Okay. See if I can get this feeling across to you. Go for it. Just make that little tap, and then follow it up, and let your elbow come out. See, there you go. Better. I know you may have manipulated it out, but if you really do keep your elbow pinned to your side, go ahead and hold your elbow to your side, because that's what it feels like. My elbow. Yeah. See, watch what happens to the bead as you go up if you leave it down. What do you notice?
You came away slightly from the pad.
Well, don't let it.
I didn't allow that to happen at all.
Keep it right over the pad. All right. Don't you feel the only way to keep it over the pad and pointed down is to have the bead come towards you. Mine's traveled like 2 inches. It's come towards me 2 inches. Don't you see? Watch.
Yeah. No. I thought that as well.
Come up higher. Come on up higher.
Donating the hand.
You get closer and closer to you, so you're like this. See, that's not what we want. We don't want this. Yeah, see how tight this is?
Yeah.
And how everything's come towards you? Mm-hmm. You see how your hand has, watch, without a stick in your hand. Just do this. And your hand comes towards you. I can almost get it to touch my chest, right? I'm not going to let my elbow go. Now, if we didn't want that to happen, we'd go up like this. See if my hand doesn't come towards me, but it's gone up. See, because I've allowed this arm to hang and react to this bending of the wrist. Go for it. Elbow didn't come out. You just came towards yourself. It was better, but watch. It doesn't end up, it started out and then somehow you just decided you wanted this. It's never going to get this tight. You're not going to feel anything here. No, now you're doing molar. Tiny bend, tiny little bend, tiny little bend. There you go. Now keep bending. Keep bending. Let the elbow come out. There you go. Something like that. It'll feel something like that. Okay, then now just and just let it all collapse. There, kind of like that. See if we can get that with the stick. Although I feel that there is a propensity for the elbow to want to come out as soon as I make this little up tap, you can really see it right here. I keep going up. Right about there, you can really see it come out a little bit. Not much. Okay, come on up just a little higher to see if it's right. No, it should come out more. Your elbow's not coming out. You're just getting tighter in your wrist area. Let the elbow come out. Go up higher. Go up higher. The elbow will come out so the wrist doesn't get tight. There you go. Look how high you are, and you don't have now. Crunch it all into and bring it all towards you like you like to. Pull it toward. Yeah. See how uncomfortable that is? Now put it back out. Now put it back out, just dangling like that. Yeah, there. See it dangling like that? Mm-hmm. Now come back down without making a stroke. Come on down. Elbows come back in. It works in reverse really well. Yeah. Try it again. You just get that tiny little first bend. There you go. Not bad. Don't come up too much. We don't want to feel much in here. We don't want much tension. The elbows come out and countervailed a little bit. Not bad. Try it one more time. Good. Now, you there? Now what I want you to do is I want you to make a strike.
I'm here.
Yeah, just turn towards the ceiling and let everything fall. Okay, now, it's the timing. We're trying to get the forearm. We're not trying to get it. We're noticing that the forearm will countervail, and if we turn our wrist with the right timing, this is really a wrist turn. What we get is we get, up until now, everything is countervailed, right? By bending forward and going down, and his wrist is turning the hand down, the forearm is going up. You see, everything's moving opposite, backwards from one another. Okay? Now, as the wrist goes up, the forearm is going to come down. So again, they're countervailing. They're moving in opposite directions. However, right before the forearm gets to the ground, back to parallel, we have to make sure that we've timed it so that the two catch up with each other right at the end. Right there, they catch up with each other. So you're going up like this, and then you're turning, and just before the forearm gets to the, and that you time it so that you don't go like this and then have to shove down, and you don't go like this and the forearm stops, and when you turn with no arm involved, you have to time it. No, elbow's got to come out. Okay, there you go. Keep going. It doesn't get this better. It doesn't get to stop. Okay, let your arm go again, because your arm is already, the arm starts right by the side. I can already see it out. So the arm starts by the side. Okay, and we're just gonna go up. We're not even making this. Go ahead and make a note, because that's really what we're working on. We're making this tiny tap. Get things started. Nope, it's that tiny tap. Tiny tap. See? Nope, it's just this. There. My elbow's already reacted. Look. It's tiny. See, my elbow's already reacted. It's already gone out a tiny bit. You might not be able to see it. See, it goes like this. See how little it's moved? It's almost imperceptible. Yeah, it's come out just a tiny bit. No, there, just like that. Try it again. See if you can feel that. See if you can get that to happen without making it happen. Little tap. There you go. There you go. Now follow it back down and watch the elbow swivel back in. There. That's how little it moves. Do it again. Make a tap. No, you exaggerated it. Come back. Okay. From there, you actually don't have to go up any further, really. You could actually uncoil it from there. Go ahead. No. If the forearm has come out the tiniest bit, we're miniaturizing. This is, and the elbow has reacted the tiniest bit. In a sense, we've already gone up. Look how little it is, though, Joe. Watch. Now you're not going to be able to see my elbow move at all because of the angle and how little it moves, but watch. But can you see the angle of the stick has changed ever so slightly, and the angle of the contour of my wrist has changed. Watch, and my elbow's moved. Now if I'm going to make a throw from there, I could. See, but watch. See how this comes back. By the time it gets to it's right back to where it started. If I want to make a bigger throw, it's going to move more. No, your elbow isn't coming out. It has to be. Do it real small right now. I think maybe that's a better way to get this across. Make a little tiny tap. No, elbow's almost too much, but yeah, not bad. Go ahead, tiny tap. There. Now go the other way. No. Watch. You've got this part, so Dick would say down is easy. It's this part that's a little tricky, right? We're trying to get this to come away ever so slightly. We're not trying to get it to do anything. It happens by itself. See? We pronate forward, take a little tap. See how my elbow is? Look how tiny it is. See, it goes out and then in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, real tiny. No, your elbow's staying in one place. You have to make sure it's right. There you go. 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 Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Now this time, just on the way down with that smoothness, you just have to, as you come down, there's enough time to make a little wrist turn. Just keep doing that, and then when you're ready, make a little note. No, keep the same timing. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Keep doing it. Make 3 motions, and on the fourth, make an actual strike. Up. No, you're bending your wrist too much. You've lost the relationship. The elbow comes out just a tiny bit as you go up, just a tiny bit with a little tap. Up. That's nice. Down. There you go. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Oh, getting there. But it doesn't do this. Watch. See how easy this is? Why is this easy? And then if you go to make a throw, it goes like this. No, it doesn't go. It doesn't stop here. That was your closest one, but watch. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It almost feels like the other down, only I've made a little. Yeah, but this all has to be working. It's like a snake. Look, here's another metaphor. It's like this snake. One part of the snake moves, and the rest of it moves. It's a snake. It's all connected, you see? So if you turn your wrist a little bit, let's say this is your wrist, and you turn your wrist, look, it seems to affect the whole thing. Yeah, see, it does that and that, that and that, that and that. A snake doesn't have bones in the way that we have these divisions between one part of our arm and the other with a fulcrum. If it did, one part would have to swivel out. It would still affect the whole thing. Right? Just as when you walk, every fulcrum is affected by the pronating of your ankle. So it goes up, down. See, it all gets affected. And then if you're going to make a little strike, it doesn't, see, look, watch, it doesn't change, watch. This is crazy. I kept this thing around because I like the idea of the metaphor, but I've never used it as a teaching tool. Okay? And see, nothing has to happen back here. This just do this. It's going to make a little strike where it's just going to slither. Here it's slithering. Here it's making a little strike. The cobra is striking. Ah! See how smooth it is? And it comes right back to being in its original form. Yeah, see, the whole snake, right up to your shoulder gets affected. It's a snake. If you bend this, the whole thing is going to move ever so slightly based on how, nope, your elbow, there you go. Now the snake slithered, or there you go, and it's going to unslither. There! You have to be patient enough to get, just, yep, smoother, and you don't have to turn quite so, nope, you just went like this again, and the snake didn't, see, your snake didn't slither, your snake just went, eh. No, it didn't, your wrist didn't affect the rest of the snake. Nope, there you go, that's what it would have, and then it would come back in on the way down. Nice and smooth on the way down. It just, no, don't wait at the top. Imagine if the snake really did do, remember how the snake just went, it can't, once it sets itself into motion up towards the ceiling, nothing can stop, it's over. No, you just don't yank it up. First you have to get the whole snake to slither. There you go. I like the idea of just going up, no, just up and down, up and down, up and throw. Don't go up quite so high. Barely need to come up and the snake should slither. Yeah, but you don't stop. Watch, when you go up and down and you don't throw, the whole motion just keeps moving. Doesn't it? Up, down, up, down, up, down. It's not going to change. It's going to come down in the same way, the arm. Down, keep going, up, say up, down. It'll help your timing. Up, no, and faster. There you go. Down, up, down. There you go. Up, down. It'll feel like that on the way down if you even turn a little. Oh, you're turning way too high. You weren't turning at all. You were literally leaving the beat over. So suddenly you're turning up to your glasses. I just need a gentle throw right now. Up, down. Yeah, you can make a throw and only come up 2 inches. Good. Up, down. Yeah, oh, you only wanted to throw. Come on. There you go. Smoother, smoother. You got it. Up, down, up, down, up. Tiny little throw instead of just coming down and not, oh, came up way too high. Just to go up twice now. Up, down, up. No, you have to slow. No, going up fast like that is not helping you. The elbow has to react. Up, down, up, and a tiny, tiny throw. No, just bring the beat up 3 inches. Or think 2 inches. Up, down, up, down, up. Yep. It won't feel much different than when you don't bring it up at all. Just bring it up a little. You're there. It's a little flick. Almost. Okay, so that's the best it's been. Okay, so let's see if we can put that into the stroke. little snake to slither. It seems like, there you go. Even if you have just to manufacture, no, it's much watch. It's there you go. But you have to make sure that when you come up, did it help motivate, or did the arm react as it would if you were really relaxed? Okay, see, it goes up. Watch how how smooth it is, even if I make a little throw. Look, I could just watch. Look, you could do this real easy. How come you can't just do this? How come you can't bring it up a half an inch and do that? You should be able to, shouldn't you? Elbow's got to move. Elbow's not moving. Yeah. You're wiggling your wrist. No, it's smaller than that. There you go. Feel it swivel back in. Yeah, come up smaller. Yeah, there. So you almost made you almost made a strike. There. Just there. Up, smaller. Just for remedial. There you go. Up, down, up, half an inch. Tiny, gentle, tiny little tap. Tiny, gentle. Gentle. There. Here you go. Here you go. That's the idea. Okay, let's see if we can get some of this involved in the stroke. Okay, so what we're looking for, this isn't one of those strokes that goes really, really fast. But you can see that, again, it's, do you know these motions or don't you? Because it's checking it. Now, I'm in matched and I'm usually in traditional, but it should work, right? Everything seems to be working. Okay. It'll work. It'll work. And you just can't just go doing this. Oh, now this should be really weird. No, it doesn't come up to do this. Okay, so put the metronome on at 40. Let's lock you into a time, to a groove.
This is
Okay, metronome at 40. Played his eighth notes. So remember how important this is, because from here, you're going to be feeling this, that tiny little thing, up to a throw. I can't hear your metronome.
okay.
Tiny bit more.
Can you hear this? It's kind of difficult. Is this hot hit happening?
I'm fine at this end as long as you are.
See if I can do this.
No, played his eighth notes.
Yeah. Oh, played his quarter note. Yeah. You want me to? Okay. Subdivide the quarter into 2/8. Okay.
No, it's just going to be, isn't it? Tap, 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 tap.
That's
tap,
right.
Tap, 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 tap. Why don't you try playing without? Let's take advantage of the insight that you just gleaned from the snake, creature of the forest, or the jungle, or we don't know, or from your backyard, and let's see if not making such a big accent would help. What if we made everything smaller? What if we just went? Remember, we're trying to get this motion happening. Okay? Trying to get this motion happening. So you see, if we didn't make such a big accent, maybe that would help. Just a smaller throat, but I want to see the entire assemblage affected by the turning of the wrist. In this case, the tail is wagging the dog. Oh no! Look how little I come up from my throat. No, look how little I come up from my throat. Yeah. Watch. Let's just make a throw, but without an accent. Yeah, all right. No, smaller. See a throw. Look how gentle a throw can be. Watch. Look how gentle. Nice and solid, though. Look how tiny. First, the angle of the stick changes, and my elbow goes up. And then it comes back in as I make this tiny, what is a wrist turn that's about like this. Here, just go and do this. Just go and do this. Just go and do this. There you go. That's all it's going to be at the end. Now just make a little bend and see if you can get your elbow to react. Okay, and then make that little tap that you're making right now. Oh, it got louder. Why? I just want this amount of turn when you make a throw. Okay. Won't be much louder than just a regular. There you go. There you go. There you go. Oh, elbow didn't move. You got one. Gentle, tiny, gentle throw. Gentle turn. Now, what you want to do is, once you feel that tap, stop for a sec, and now make a motion. See if you get the elbow to come out. Take your time. It's going to be that much of a tap at the end of your throw. Get your no, just stop. No, just stop. You actually got one. Very interesting. But now just bend forward without making even a tap. Did your elbow move? I don't think so. There it is. Now that little tap that you just practiced, just as everything collapses, make that tiny little tap. Yeah, it'll almost feel like you're down here doing this, but you fooled your mind, and you got your arm to move without your mind knowing. And you just meant to make a little tap, and everything falls back into place, and you got all that weight behind it without you even knowing it. Okay, go for it. That little tiny feeling of that much of a turn at the end of your throw. Now just bend forward, at a time, stop. Okay, you can do it that way, but did your elbow go out? By now you're up. Yeah, okay. Now make that tiny tap. The tap happens. The tap doesn't go like this. You kind of you do this, and then you stop, and then you turn. You get down to the floor, and then all you're doing is your arm is at the floor and you're turning. So you may as well not have made a throw. Isn't that what a regular wrist turn is? So what we want as the arm, look, it's only going to fall this much. Look how little it is. That much. But while it's falling, you have to make that gentle turn. Boom. 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 There. Why do you stop? Why can't you just... There. There. It flicks out to the end. Do it again. Get the elbow to move. Elbow didn't move. No. Go on up. Get that elbow to move and make a tiny little turn. There you go. Just a tiny, gentle turn. There. Make an up. And a throw. Up motion. That's an up motion. There you go. There you go. Okay. So you need to work. The flam and stroke has a lot of elements that are taking you away from feeling this, or are making it hard for you to focus on this fundamental aspect. You know, we can just keep going. And Lord knows, I think Richard Wilson at a certain point just kept me, okay, that's as good as it's going to get today. Now we're going to keep moving, right? Let's keep moving. But let's take a look. Let's go back to the up and down stroke. Okay. You have that one out in front of you? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna use this to help lock this in because you felt it more than once today. Okay. All right. So how am I going to do this now? So instead of just playing 4 notes with one accent, we're going to play 8 notes. Yeah, at the beginning, with regards to the first exercise. So let's see what would be a good tempo. Okay, put the metronome on at 46. See if that works.
So my point is,
you're making those.
the eighth note equals 46?
Yeah, we're playing an eighth with 8th notes. So first thing is going to be that little throw. That means now we're into upstroke territory again because we're playing a series of notes. It's not this. It's not this. It just isn't. This joint has no power. However, in a sense, it makes available an immense amount of power. It provides the wrist power. This joint, the anticubical fossa, Dick might say, let it go to sleep. Okay. This fulcrum has no power. Sounds like the end of Labyrinth, that movie with David Bowie. You have no power over me. Neither does your shoulder joint, your shoulder fulcrum. In a sense, you might want to consider this idea that these joints have no power. They're to sit there. Okay? And yet they provide power in that by activating them, they have all this weight. But you don't get to use the bicep muscle and engage this fulcrum. Nor are we using the shoulder fulcrum and engaging the upper arm thusly. So that we're using whatever muscles are needed to lift, to pull and release, or to pull back down. So all you get is the wrist, and this does nothing, and this does nothing. And all you're going to do is make these little taps. And at some point, you're just going to make that little, this, it's almost like a jumping off point. It's like the burying the, if you're a pole vaulter, you bury the pole to propel you up. Okay, it feels like that. We're just turning, and at any point, I can just let this. It feels like it's stuck in that dirt or in the sand, and I've gone up, and then you've leveraged it up. Right. This is your little guy. He's on the top. He's on the pole vault. He's gone up. Okay, and he can't go up properly if this doesn't hang, and then it comes down. Okay. Easy. It's that little. We're making very little throws. We're not putting an accent on it. Elbow didn't come out. So we're going to go, let's just do it with one hand. Just go and put your metronome on at 46. Yep, elbow didn't come. No, you're just slammed. It's all going to be much smaller than that right now. Let's see. Oh, we're going back. It's so slow, and with one hand, all we're going to do is turn and play the exercise. So it's going to be 4 eighth notes. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Every last eighth note of the group of 4 will be enough. But the elbow has to come out when you bend forward ever so slightly. There. No, the throw is tiny. It's that tiny tap. It's a tap no much bigger than what you're making. There. Yeah, just keep tapping the same height and introduce the throw. 2, 3, 4. Try not to do it with your elbow. Bend. No, now you're leading with your elbow. The wrist has to bend and motivate it. Oh, there you go. No, then you threw too big. That was better though. Just nope, and you threw too big. Keep going. We're going to get this. Not bad. Not bad. 2, 3, 4. There it is. There it is. 2, 3, 4. Come on. 4. There it is. There you go. There you go. 3, 4. There you go. Yeah, see, it almost feels like you're just always turning your wrist, doesn't it? There's nothing to feel. It's too subtle, right? No, now you're starting to slam a little. There you go. No, now your wrist turn has gotten bigger. It's tiny, smaller, and easy. And easy. Not bad. Almost. Make it your wrist turn nice and easy. 4. There you go. See, it's just going to fall while you're making a regular little wrist turn. You just bend. Really, there you go. You bend. Everything kind of moved behind the wrist. There you go. There you go. See, it's that subtle. Better. Put the other hand with it. Make my day. You can do it. 1 and 2 and, right? The other hand making a little tap in between. There you go. See if you can stay focused now with the other hand doing what it's doing. And you know that wasn't right. No, you turned too high for your throw. So, everything but you turned too high for the throw, and it would have been perfect. No, your elbow didn't come out. No, your elbow out. It just reacts to the wrist. No, too hard. It's a gentle little wrist turn. You're just making the motion. There you go. Like that. Up. There you go. That elbow react. Up. No, it didn't come out. It's got to come out a little bit. Yeah, you can go right back. If it doesn't come out, just start again. There you go. Almost. Yeah. No big deal, because it's all a wrister. But if you start swinging it around, it's no longer just a wrister. Up. Yeah. Better. From the wrist. From the wrist. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's not bad. Can you go the other way for me? Go the other way. It's just doing this. That's all it's doing. That's this to this. I'm not really. It's all. There's still small it is. But everything's moving just as it's supposed to from the wrist. Elbow didn't move. And you turned up the ceiling way too high. You looks a little wonky, but might no. Let's take a quick look at the grip. Come on, just does this, right? Running out to the first finger and thumb in the left. Just first finger and thumb. And it should just see if it's running along that tendon, following the tendon. It would look like this. Just do this for me. Sit up and yeah. My thumbnail is almost facing directly to my left. Yeah, okay. See your angle? So now just put your fingers on. Keep the angle of the stick the same. There you go. See? It's better. Okay, now relax your elbow. No, not your elbow. It was your shoulder. You see your shoulder had, this is literally what this technique is really about. You were doing this. So this is never going to follow the bending of the wrist because you're holding it out already. It's not relaxed enough to feel this natural contour that's going to change when you do this. And the elbow joint has to be equally, oh, the elbow didn't come out, so whatever happened. Nope, elbow didn't, yep, there you go, come on, find it. There you go. Try that again. You turned up really high. You know that too. It's going to be a little turn about that high. There you go. On the wrist has to pronate. The wrist goes towards the ceiling. Even if you're doing some mimicking. Not bad. Don't slam. It's a tiny little throw right now. There you go. Go. Easy. Now you just shoved your forearm down. You did the snake, the slither. Getting more like elbow didn't move. So you had to watch. When your elbow doesn't go out a little, and you keep it here, then it doesn't feel like you have all that weight to come down in front of it. It comes down ahead of it, doesn't it? The wrist motivates the forearm, which motivates the outward motion of the upper arm. And then on the way down, as you bring your wrist up, first the upper arm comes in, it slithers backwards. And then the forearm is reacting. You have all this weight. This much weight if a wrist is about a pound, I don't know how much. I looked it up, all the different body weights. Whatever poundage is involved here and what's involved here, all of that weight is behind that now. Not much, tiny, tiny. Look at all that weight. All of this weight gets behind it. If you don't let this weight come out, Joe, there you go. There you go. If you don't let this weight come out and you keep it here, on the way down now you only have this weight and this weight. Might not feel like enough. And your mind, what does it do? It pushes down now because you don't have all this weight. So you keep this weight in advance, out of the game. When it really wants to help, and tired of hanging out by your body. You know, it was like a little bit of a lactic acid release of some sort. But you're going to hold it here, and now you don't have all that weight, so the body says, geez, I don't have all this weight to fall. I only have this weight to fall, so I'll shove it down. See, that leads to shoving. That's the subtlety of what we're doing. So it's just going to react like this. And then you have all that weight, all that weight to come down, even if it's tiny, even if, look, even if it's, watch, even if it's, look, I'm not bringing the beat up at all. I'm not bringing the beat up at all. Now I am. Okay. Now I'm bringing it up more. Bring it up more. Bring it up more. Look how the elbow moves more. Okay? Everything will change in proportion to how much you're moving. Okay. Okay. Try it again. Left. No, it's not by your side to begin with. We're dealing in tiny measurements, a fine Swiss watch. Not a Timex. There goes my endorsement with Timex. Wait. You shoved. You shoved. Instead of letting all that weight, the entire weight of your other. Nope. Turning too high, and it's just all becoming wrist in a way that it shouldn't be. It's not in proportion with using the weight that you generated by motivating the movement of the arm. There you go. There you go. The energy went from your shoulder all the way down to the beat of the stick, smoothly. Oh, yeah. There you go. Can you play the triplet exercise? Same speed. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. So it's not triplets. We're playing 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. So we're playing, we're maintaining eighth note time, but we're playing groups of 3 by putting the accent every 3 notes. Okay, so it's just the same tempo. Relax the arms. You got to find the arm. See, look at your left elbow is out at the top of a big throw. Right now it's ready to be moved. 1, 2. No, you're playing quarter notes, eighth notes. 1 and 3 and 3 and 1. Elbow on the left. It's out too far. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. I know. No, didn't make it. There you go. Okay. Elbow's got to be by your side and the left. Ever to swivel out and come back to where it should be. There you go. Almost. Almost. Ah, don't just go yanking that wrist up and no arm moving. There you go. That was a good one. There you go. Out. There you go. Don't show up. Very gentle, smooth, elegant, sexy motion. Isn't that how the Malaysian dancers move? Right? Right? Don't they? Isn't it this? Something like this, right? Well, check it out. I've never taken a class, but right? You see how everything? You see how smooth it is? It's not going. It's the essential dance, right? We got to make sure those elbows react to a little bend in the wrist. That Malaysian dance. There, a little bit. There. Yeah, think of how that lovely, smooth, undulating motion. It's the dolphin coming out of the water. It's this beautiful thing, right? this wave. It's a wave. There's all kinds of ways to look at it. So this is the best it's been. And playing in groups of 3 is a little harder for you because it's happening so quickly. Okay, go ahead and play it as quarter notes, just for fun. Let's see what happens.
Play it as quarter notes?
Let's try quarter notes. You don't have to change the metronome.
No, I just set it to 12 beats.
Okay. Now, oh, wait. You didn't set up. Joe, you're starting to get the idea now. Right? Wait. The idea, Joe, the idea of setting up, and before you go to play, it's like, are my elbows by my side, or am I like this? So it'll never work, what we're doing. With some other technique, it won't matter, perhaps. But this technique, it has to be this. Watch. Boom. Now they're by your side. Now that when you do this, you're going to get a reaction. The one you want. 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh, elbow didn't come out. Elbow didn't come out. See, all the time in the world. Elbow didn't come out and you slammed. It's your old way of playing. Start again, because the right didn't make a throw. I don't know. No, elbow's not coming out. Elbow came there. That was good. Elbow in the right. Right there has to come out. One. Out. Because it's an up. It's real slow. Come on, that should be an up. Oh, I guess you could do it that way. It's real slow. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, it makes you want to wait it. It's a little. It's just play it as A.
Okay.
I think it makes more sense. Okay, before you play, you're about to play. I know it. You haven't stopped. Am I at the floor? Are my elbows by my side? Is my shoulder hanging? Now can I go like this? Oops. Oh, it's a 3. 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Well, it's a smaller little throw. It's a smaller little wrist turn. We're just looking for the motion right now. We're not looking for a big exit. Left is good. Nope. Left comes out better than the right. There. Not bad. Now on the right. Elbow has to come out just a little. There it is. Came out there. There it is. Almost. And it went there, doesn't it? You go in the other direction. That was a good one. See, at this tempo, making it up, it almost does force you to wait a little bit at the time. Fine one. This one, now it's starting, your body's starting to work. There you go. Up, elbow, elbow, elbow. There you go. Don't just swing it out. Settle it. Elbow, come out. Ah, there you go. See how tiny it is? Ah, good, man. That's what you need to work on. Okay, and all this stuff blends or bleeds into everything else we do, right? As we go to start to play other strokes, this is what we're talking about last week, right? Whereas when you work on your doubles and roll strokes, see how relaxed that is? It's the same stuff. It's always the same stuff. It's not that big a deal. Once you start to learn that the wrist is king and the arms are only its The arms of the wrists, loyal subjects, right? And because we're, as drummers coming up playing loud music, especially during when we came up, we were playing like during the 80s in those bands where all the music was, you know, that huge backbeat with the synthesizer, synthesized drum where you just turn up the dial and it goes, right? And we show up to our gig and we're expected to duplicate that. And that creates right? We're maybe back in the 60s when they were coming out of having played the 50s where guys were playing traditional grip and that wasn't happening, you know. And so that can promote all of these weird habits where we introduce groups of muscles that aren't required. They're really not. But to undo all that, because our bodies and our minds have we've got engrams now, you know, that have formed. And now we have to create new engrams and maybe soften the old engrams, right, to help develop proper muscle memory. Okay, and then ultimately you won't have to think about doing nothing. But right now you really have to think about doing nothing.
That's right.
and that's the paradox. But enjoy it, because when you look back at this video, that's right, you will see that snake as a teaching device was actually helpful to you, I think. I actually think it was. You see, the whole snake moves, not just one little part. What happened to this? What about me? Oh, you have all this weight. You have all of that weight that's become engaged. Okay? So that's the gig. Seemingly very subtle. But once you start to feel it, you'll realize what seems subtle isn't so subtle anymore. It's kind of easier to feel nothing once you start to get the idea of what it feels like to feel nothing. All right? Amen.
It's tricky. It's a tricky little, it's a subtle little thing, but I'm getting it because it's just almost as though I'm playing the throw at the same volume as the unaccented notes.
You could. You can. When you watch the Louis Nelson video, you'll see that a lot of the times he's playing doubles, but he's making little throws.
Yeah, right.
You'll see that. So it'd be good for you to watch that again. Yeah. But making motions does not unequivocally denote volume.
Right.
It doesn't. We might want to get something like this. But we don't want to just. We want to feel the dance. We want to feel the body moving with the music. So we might want to go see the whole arm's moving. See, instead of just might give it a little bit of a different feeling, right? Because now your whole body's going, oh yeah. Then the other hand can go paradiddle, 1 through 5, 1 through 5, or it can be like you heard Dick, right? Okay, so that's where this is going. It's good. It's good. I know it can be mentally painstaking in a sense to get in touch with your body in this way.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
of music, right? We're not just doing math.
Yeah, exactly.
We are, it's very holistic.
Absolutely.
The entire being has to become this thing, right? And from this thing comes this beautiful music. All right? Go, man.
Great.
Turn off the recording.